Hello everyone, how are we all? I hope you're all doing well. I felt like it had been a really long time since we've just done like a casual get ready with me video, and it is nice and early in the morning and I'm about to get ready, so I thought I would just pop on and show you guys what I've been doing. I've been having another like rough skin moment. I've had like a lot of breakouts down on my neck, and then I've had a lot in this area, so I think it's like something hormonal, but when I get breakouts, I get that post-inflammatory dark spot on my face, and it takes a really long time for it to go away, so it can be really frustrating because even when the swelling is gone and the actual blemish is gone, then I still have that scar, and I also tend to pick, so that doesn't help either. But because my skin has been kind of temperamental, I've been playing around with different products to try and figure out what's going to cover this best, what's not going to emphasize what I have going on, and I've really found a routine that works super well for me, so I thought I would share it with you guys this morning. Because it is during the day, I'm just going to put on some of my Hint Beauty Sun Prep. This is SPF 25, but I find that it's enough for me, especially if I'm like applying my Ilia powdered sunscreen throughout the day. And I just use about a pump and a half of it all over my face and then down my neck and onto my chest. Now, why I really like this is because it's not greasy under your makeup, and you'll see I'm about to apply like a pretty dewy look, so I don't want any real extra dew going on, and I find that this dries down relatively matte for an SPF, and it's supposed to be 80 degrees today, so I definitely need that SPF. So I'm just gonna let that dry for about like 30 seconds while I have some tea. I've been keeping my makeup so simple these days just because I'm usually in a rush in the morning and just trying to slap whatever I can on my face, if anything. I also think because the weather is getting warmer, a lot of people, myself included, like to have as much natural skin showing as possible because you don't want to have to be touching up your makeup all day. So I try and work in like very thin layers and not have too much going on at once. So now for my base product, I'm actually going to be mixing two products. Now I've done this before in a video, and this is the Gressa Minimalist Foundation. I have it in the shade 1.5, and then I'm going to be mixing it with the Gressa Nourish Purifying Oil. So the shade 1.5, it works for me. It is a little bit light for my skin tone, but what I do is I always pair a bronzer with it, and I tend to sheer it out. And this is still very much my winter skin tone, so you guys obviously can see how light this 1.5 shade is. But I'm gonna do 1 drop of this and then 2 drops of the oil just on the back of my hand. I'm just making sure to shake this very well. If you guys want to see a full review of this foundation, I have one on my channel. You can check it out. Actually, really of all these products that I'm going to use. Like I said, I'm going to add 2 drops oil. And then I'm just going to use my fingers to mix it on the back of my hand. So I'm just mixing it on the back of my hand, and you can see it's a very now like liquidy, even more liquidy formula. And then I'm just gonna dab, you know, what I use to mix right onto my face. And I'm gonna take a small brush and just start blending it and working it in. I'm actually gonna zoom you guys in a little bit closer so you can see. Okay, hopefully that's a little bit better. So I'm really just starting it at the center of my face and blending outwards. And that's in part due to the fact that this is a little bit lighter for me. So by the time I get out, I want it to be the sheerest amount of coverage so that I don't get that kind of line between my neck and my face. But it's also because since it is a little bit lighter, it adds this highlighting power to the center of my face. Now, I actually posted a picture of myself wearing the look that I'm doing right now on Instagram, and so many of you messaged me saying like, hey, how'd you do this? What do you mean that you mix these two products together? So hopefully this is helpful. I also just posted yesterday a picture of all these products because like I said, I've been wearing this pretty much every day since I figured out it worked for me. And really mixing this oil with this foundation means that it's not going to be grabbing to my dry areas. It's just kind of gliding over the top of them. So if you're someone like me who not only has like acne prone skin but has dry patches on your skin, then this might be something you want to consider if you need the coverage. Obviously, if you have dry skin, I always think the best thing to do is just apply a nice moisturizer and put some concealer in the areas that you need. But if you really want coverage everywhere, then this might be an option. Because I just find that it's really hard to find a foundation that doesn't cling to dry areas, and I don't think that's any foundation's fault. That's why I always say if you can get away without foundation, then do it. So you guys can see my skin tone is starting to look a lot more even. It's also looking a lot flatter and paler. I'm just gonna take my fingers and press it in, and then I kind of just take whatever's left on the back of my hand. I'm just gonna like put it in the areas where I want more coverage and then go back in with the brush and blend it. I actually don't use a concealer on top of this. I could. I definitely have spots that are showing through, but I find that this is enough for me for right now. And the areas that I really try and focus on blending is like this crease by your nose, as I find that product always ends up in there. And that's that. That is my base done. So like I said, you can go in with a concealer and conceal more, or you could put concealer under your eyes if you want to. I just find that this is plenty for me, at least on a daily basis. And you can see I have a lot of luminosity to my skin, so I don't really need a highlighter or anything like that. But what I do need is to just bring some color back into my face. I'm just gonna put in some brow gel really quick, just to get these bad boys in place. And then for my eyes, all I'm gonna do is grab this Well People Bio-based Baked Bronzer. I'm just gonna apply this all over my lid. This look literally takes me like 3 minutes in the morning. Really the most time consuming part is blending out my base. And this is just enough color for me, and like a little added something to my eyes where I feel like I did something, but nothing too fussy. And I'm just gonna be curling my eyelashes. I'm gonna use my phone as a little mirror because it's kind of hard to see with the mirror that I'm using right now. I actually haven't been wearing mascara a lot recently. I kind of like the look of just curled eyelashes. It keeps things very simple in the morning. You don't have to worry about like stabbing yourself in the eye with a mascara wand, which I've done a few too many times. That's always nice. And then I'm using the Well People Expressionist mascara right now. I'm just shaking the next product if you see like my whole torso moving. And I just have felt like it smudges a lot on me. That was an issue that I had when I first tried it years and years ago, and it's still happening on me. So it's not the mascara for me. I'm still using it. I think it's beautiful if you want a lengthening, separating mascara. I wish that it didn't smudge on me because I think I would love it otherwise. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that product. If you've had the similar issue, if you love it, because I know it's like a cult classic. It's so many people love it. So I think in part it's just my eyes, which is a little bit frustrating. Next, I'm gonna go in with these Gressa Lumiere Luminous Complexion Fluid Drops. This is in the shade Elise. And this, you need like the tiniest amount, and I'm not kidding by the tiniest amount, like very little. I always feel like I add too much. Yep, I just added too much, but that's fine. I'll have a little extra on the back of my hand. I can go wash it off. And it's like an oil and a pigment. Oh, maybe actually I did a good amount. And so you kind of mix the two together on the back of your hand until you get the color that you want, and then you just apply it onto your cheeks. And I go back and forth between wanting more of the pigment versus more of the oil. Right now I have more of the oil. I might go back in just for camera's sake and add a little bit more of the pigment, but you can see it just adds this like very natural, healthy glow to your cheek area that I am totally obsessed with. I'm just gonna add a little bit more pigment. And I always make sure with all of my Gressa products to screw the cap on before I set them down. And I've put this on my eyes before. You can really use this product a lot of places, but I find that it's so beautiful on your cheeks, especially for spring when I feel like everyone's wanting lighter makeup, just a pop of color. This is like, oh, such an amazing product. And whatever's left over, I just kind of like take onto my fingers and I just put it all over my lids. It just adds like a little luminosity. Okay, next I'm gonna go back in with that bronzer from Well People and a bigger fluffy brush, and I'm just gonna bronze up my face. So I'm doing those like big sweeping C motions. I like to start at my forehead because I feel like that's the most forgiving place. But some people start at the back of their cheeks and then do the sweep up. I'm going to take a little across the bridge of my nose. This is also helping to set everything that we've put on our face in place. a little on my chin, jawline. Again, this is a very subtle look, so it's kind of like a your skin but better look. Before I finish off with lips, because the weather is getting warmer and because I have so much oil formula going on my face, I'm going to be using my Kjaer Weis pressed powder, just in the areas that I don't want to be shiny. So T-zone next to my nose, but I'm being careful not to drag it up because I want to keep kind of the glow that I have going on here. Chin for sure, and then upper lip. And sometimes I'll just pop on a lip balm, but there has been one lip product that I've really been loving, so let me go grab it. So I've really been loving this Well People Optimus lipstick in the shade Choose Love. Just like a perfect dusty rose color. What I do instead of just applying it like straight on, I just kind of dab it in the center area of my lip, and then I just use my finger to blend out and kind of smush it in. And there you go. That's kind of like my finished go-to spring makeup look, especially when I'm having like kind of a spotty time where things are a little bit red or dark or not how I want them to look, and I need that full coverage, but I want it to be wearable. I want it to be comfortable. My face still has a lot of luminosity. You can see I actually have a window right here, and so you can see when the light hits my face, there's a lot of dimension to it. It feels very alive, very healthy. It's a very like youthful sort of glow that I have going on right now. As always, I will link all of the products down below. I'd love to know what you guys have been wearing this spring, or as we're going into summer, what products you use to kind of keep everything in place and beat the heat. I tend to gravitate towards powders, but I wonder if there's like a setting spray out there, or if there's some sort of application technique that you guys have. Let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that your spring is off to a wonderful start and that you enjoyed this look. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe down below for videos always featuring clean green beauty, and I will see you guys next week. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.